So we have the list of our articles, but the problem is if I log in as another user, I will see the same list of articles, including articles by other users. So as a demonstrate, I will register with a totally new user, register, and I go to articles, and I see the same article. So that is wrong, right? We will add something called multi-tenancy. It's a simple option of multi-tenancy. It can be much more complicated, but for the beginning, we will just add a user ID to articles table, and we need to do two things. Ensure that user ID is added when creating a new article, and then ensure that it's filtered by logged in user ID when viewing the articles. First, database structure. Artisan make migration, add user ID to articles table. And then we add a new field, foreign key, and also in article model we add a user ID. Next we go to article controller, and in our store method, which I've pre-filled behind the scenes, on top of request all, we need to fill in the user ID. And one of the fastest way to do that, as I know, is to do this operation on array, user ID equals auth ID. And let's try it out. New article, and of course we need to run the migrations first. Artisan migrate. Okay, and we fill in the article with dummy data, save the article. And let's see in the database. Yep, we have user ID filled in, user ID 3. So we took care of filling in user ID. Now how to filter it out? Because the problem still exists. If I register as a new user again with form filler, I would still see someone else's article. So first thing you would think probably to do is to do something like this. In index article where user ID equals auth ID, right? But then you would have to add the same condition in index, in edit and update and destroy, basically everywhere you perform any operation on that article. And that is not convenient to repeat that where. Instead of that, we can add a so-called global scope. And I've opened Laravel documentation for that, and we will use anonymous global scopes. In the model, we can add any query to the query builder, and this is exactly what we need to do. So we'll just copy and paste that part. We go to article model, paste that booted method, and let's name that scope a user. Function builder, probably builder should be used here, like this. And then we need to add where condition. So this is exactly where user ID equals auth ID. And just in case, we need to check if that's even existing. So if auth check, then we add that global scope, because maybe in the future articles would be accessible by non-logged in user, which is very realistic if someone wants to read the blog, right? So we did that part, and now let's refresh our articles list, and I shouldn't see that anymore. Refresh, list is empty. And if I add a new article, save article, I should see that article because it is mine, it is filtered by auth ID. In the database, as you can see, two articles, one with user ID 3, but I don't see that. And even if I know that URL, so articles 4 edit is accessible to me, but article 3 should throw 404 as if it is not found. It's not even showing, see, it's not even showing the permission error or something with authentication or rights or roles. It's just as if not found. So this is a simple way how you can protect individual entries by user ID. In the next lesson, we will add administrator level who would be able to access categories, manage them, and also see which users wrote which articles.